Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John and Jenna with Flippin' Ain't Easy. Hopefully you had a better sales weekend than I did, but I did, like I said in the video I made this morning, I did some looking, and I got to tell you, the sales were just not there for a lot of people. And but then again, there are people who commented today that said their sales were better than ever. So go figure. As soon as I posted that video, the sales started. Now I had a pretty good day today in sales on the main account. Almost right now we're at $448, and we'll see how it goes. So I can tell you, I pretty much made a little bit shy of what I made all weekend today. And it's just weird. I don't understand how or why it works that way, but that's, I guess, how things go. If I look at my chart, you can certainly see, as compared to the first 3 weeks of this month, that things are definitely down. At least eBay saying I'm down 20%. So definitely something that's starting to open my eyes, because this is the first real bad month I've had in 8-9 months. So want to know how you guys have done down below, and or in the chat if you're watching with us. Either way, whether you're watching us live or watching us after the fact, do me a favor, hit that like button, get your sale within the first 24 hours of hitting that like button. And I don't know how or why it works, it just does. So nothing earth-shattering to talk about. We went to California, visited the grandkids, and hung out with them at Discovery Cube or Discovery Zone.
Discovery Cube.
Yeah, and
Zone is in Vegas, Cube is in LA.
I was a little kind of feeling weird about it, because what did I tell you? I said we got all these kids running around here, and we're a week away from our trip to Cincinnati, and I do not want to get sick. These kids carry around all kinds of stuff, and the last thing I want is to, knock on wood, get sick. And here we are. What, I sneezed today, you sneezed about 5 minutes ago. So I don't know. Let's just hope. So keep us in your thoughts. Want to know what you guys think about Q4, though, going forward. We're a week away from Q4, and I have always seen in the past, September is sort of a month where we transition from the summer slowdown, and it's a thing, whether you believe it or not, summer slowdown to the Q4, sales that then start to take off. So where are you at on that? What do you think is going to happen? Because I haven't really, seems like we're kind of going down in the wrong direction for most people. And I cited in the video that I put out this morning that I believe, and this is the elephant in the room, that the economy is certainly something that you want to kind of worry about. I think we were out and about at downtown Burbank. I don't think it was as busy as I've ever seen it. I mean, there is a lot of people there, but I think we've seen it busier.
We've seen it busier.
Yeah. So I don't know what to think, guys. It's all just putting it out there. I have no idea.
Gas prices.
Oh my goodness.
What in the heck is going on in California?
We paid like $4.60 a gallon here in Las Vegas. So filled up the car. We drove out there on Friday, and when it came time to coming back, it was at $6.99 a gallon in some places. It's like, what? To fill up your car, it's well over $100. I can certainly see how people would be like, well, this thing that I was looking at for $40, it's going to have to wait because I have to get to work. I kind of think this gas thing is going to affect a whole lot of people, and it's certainly not comfortable. So let's see who we have here with us today. Brian H. says, first thumbs up. Thanks for being here. Got K Jr. Hope you read the new user agreement, John, because it feels like ain't nobody got time for this. And I had Jerry Johnson, I believe, send me an email only like 15 minutes ago. I've been so busy today just trying to, of course, not shipping. We know Monday is normally really heavy shipping, but we did some shipping. But I had some things that I had to take care of with eBay, and it's, and listing. Had to get some of that done before we started today, and just really didn't have time. But I'm going to take time because I'm very intrigued. I wouldn't be surprised if it said something like, you cannot say anything negative about eBay at this point. You want to keep selling here. Wouldn't doubt it. Sandra says, hello all. Thanks for being here, Sandra. Mike Camparelli says, hi, John and Jenna and FAE community. Hope all are well. Lots of rain in New York this week with very poor sales. Sold only 5 items this weekend, and previous week not strong either. And that's no good. Let me do one thing real quick, guys. It's a very nice day out here in Vegas. We have the dogs outside in the backyard, and my quiet dog likes to just raise hell when he's outside, and I'm hearing him bark, so I don't want you guys to have to hear that. Okay, yeah, Mike says, good time to hit the like button. Yes, and then Steven says, hello, all this too shall pass. At some point, we're going to see an improvement across the board. I know that. It's just a matter of getting through it, a matter of riding out the storm. Some people had their best weekend, so it's hard to explain. But I do think the economy is certainly a factor, which means that it's now more important than ever to really spend a little bit more time maybe considering what you're buying to put in your stores. If it's kind of a questionable item, maybe this time you let it sit and don't buy it, because while I'm a big advocate of building up your store in Q4 and getting items, building up your stock, that is, so you can keep having items to list. I think that if you err on the side of caution and just buy stuff that has good ASP, average sale price, and if you can determine by looking at the solds, the sell-through rate, how it looks, then you're on the right path. Urethra Franklin says, I made it to the other side. Hi, guys. Yes, thanks for being here. Awesome that you're here. We got Biscuit Butt is with us. I'll be lurking today, so tell Roman he has free reign to make fun of me. And then PTS Treasure says hello. We have Victor Wawiorka, and as I mentioned, Jerry Johnson. Thanks for being here. Ping G says good afternoon to everyone in the chat. Thank you, Ping G, for being here. We've got Larry Todd. Thanks for being here. Hope you're feeling better. Talking about the whole COVID thing. Hopefully you're past it all and back on track. Lenny K says hi. All New Hampshire trees are starting to change. Fall is here. That's a good thing about up in that part of the woods there. The trees are just beautiful. Henri Squaw says, howdy, everyone. New user agreement. I think they have taken notice to everyone's complaints. So has anyone taken the time to read the user agreement? I'm going to. It's just a matter of getting myself back on track. I'm always, whenever I leave home, I'm always behind. I'm always behind on things. And I just, between the videos, between the eBay listings, I got to get that out of the way before I can start jumping into user agreements and stuff, but I plan on doing that. Savage Pickers is in the house. Disgruntled Octopus says, morning all. Jay Goodnow says, hello, everyone. We have Joe Samard says, a cool 78 in NoCal. So that's really nice. That's perfect as far as I'm concerned. I call it NoCal. We have SoCal, NoCal. The Thrifty Loon here. Jacqueline B says, good evening. Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. And Devon is with us. Luke R. eBay Motors is getting good marketing. And they have been. They have been getting a lot of good commercials are out there for eBay Motors, but that's great. Some, Gen Zer is going to say, wow, I need something for this car, and I can go to eBay Motors, but aren't going to really be familiar with the rest of it. What about the rest of us selling on eBay? Mark says, I have had it. And Savage Picker says, sales were terrible for me. Today I only have one so far, and it's 6 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, just a weird roller coaster ride. Glenda says, hey, everyone. I had one sale on Posh only today. Chastity Grant says, hi, all. Had a very good sales weekend myself, but did have an odd offer situation. Oh, I'd like to hear about it. Rhiannon says, hey. Sales are not great for me today. Weekend was good, though. Art says, hello, everyone. And we have Raul Solis. And Shalami Shamich says, hey, John and Jenna. Thanks for being here. Savage Picker says, Q4 isn't looking too hot right now. Worried about furlough possibility for my husband.
Oh, no.
And that's another thing. People are out there. They're losing their jobs, guys. And then when this happens, maybe they had intended to, buy something for their collection or whatever, and the idea that they might lose their jobs is holding them back from buying something. AZ Cat Sue says, this is only my second full year being a part-timer, so anything will help. And gas is so expensive out there.
Oh my God, it's insane.
Known Design says, why is there a plaque of a Raiders athletic groin cup behind Jenna? Why is it so black? Raiders athletic groin cup. We look back like we can't see in the screen. Are you talking about the shield that's underneath where it says Raiders? That's not a groin cup. That's a shield. That is when I had season tickets, they sent me that box, and you open it up and it has your tickets in there. It lights up and it plays music. It's pretty cool.
Groin cup.
So it looks kind of like a, I see what you're saying, but it's not it. Always glad to contribute to the conversation. Hill Valley Vintage says, why did the Raiders kick that field goal at the end? Because their coach is not very smart, and he thinks that for some reason we have a good defense, and that's just not the case. Joe Samard says, I'm in California. My gas is $5.19, but we were in LA, and so
we're in LA. So different areas are going to have different prices. We know that, but it was just very startling to see. Even our son-in-law warned us, hey, make sure you get gas outside of LA County when you if you need to fill up again.
Mm-hmm. But what did I do? I tried to go as far as I could with the remaining gas that I had in my car. Found the gas station, and I'm like, oh, well, I guess we're stuck here. And it was like $6.50 a gallon. And so I'm like, okay, I know it's 250 miles. I know that I'm only going to I ain't spending $100 here, because I've never spent $100 to fill up my gas tank. So I got up to 75, and I said, you know what? I'll just get more gas later. Of course, I had like 80 to spare when we got home, but it's like, I ain't spending that kind of money on gas. I just can't. I can't do it. I have no problem making a bet in the casino, though, but I just won't spend that kind of money on gas. Ping G says $5.79 a gallon here in California, but depends on where you go.
Orange County. So,
yeah, it depends on where you go. The Texas Bandit says, afternoon kids, long day on the road, but glad to catch your afternoon show. I'm old. How are you calling me a kid? Tommy says, barking ain't easy. Yeah, that's for sure. Barking ain't easy.
For them.
New Hampshire's $3.50 a gallon. Wow, that's nice.
Wow, we're moving to New Hampshire.
We got more observation. Was that a hemorrhoid donut cushion on John's chair when he got up? No, I don't. This is a big chair. This thing right here is a backrest that we got from the other chair, because this chair provides no back support, so no lumbar support. So it was actually causing me some back problems. As comfortable as it is, I had to get something on my back. So it's a little bit better now. Masters Maniac Mexico, long time no catch. Good to see you again. You're a German in Mexico. Well, thank you for being here. Awesome. That's awesome. Mark Suddick says, I've had no sales all week here in Canada on eBay.ca. I know for a fact it's not me. eBay is doing something that's all kinds of problems. I'm getting to the point maybe I leave the platform. But what are the alternatives? I think eBay is still the main place to sell your goods. Unless you're able to get ungated in a lot of categories on Amazon, eBay is really the place to be. And you can go to Mercari, you can go to Posh, you'll have some mixed results. But at the end of the day, I think that's more of a supplemental thing to do, is to put your stuff over on other platforms. Getting an extra couple sales a week is better than nothing. And I think it's worth the time doing if you can. But really, what are you going to do? You're going to go back to work? You're going to go work 9 to 5? What kind of jobs are really out there? Companies are downsizing. Rite Aid, they're closing a bunch of stores. So, it isn't like everyone's going to try to go work for Rite Aid. But, even when you go out there and get jobs, those are the type of jobs that are out there. The entry-level jobs. The management jobs certainly aren't out there. So, I don't know. That's a problem. Silver Hair Stacker says there's a user agreement. We have Callie Debs here with us, and Bobbles, Blings, and Needful Things. Thanks for being here. You look radiant with your hair up. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I usually keep my hair up. Henri Squaw says big highlighted section about arbitration and no class actions allowed. Well, let me tell you, there's not any lawyers taking class actions, because I know firsthand from discussions and stuff that People always used to say, well, we need to do a class action, this, that, and other thing. Lawyers aren't taking on eBay lawyers. I can tell you that right now. There's just too many. But I can see them trying to get in front of it. A lot of these problems are putting a hurt on people's business. And
people are pissed.
Yeah, and it's, it used to be, and it probably still is, where eBay, they put that little clause in there where we don't have to show your items. You think that would be enough, right? But why would they have to add no class actions? Midnight Merchant says, happy flipping Monday. It goes a long way to thank your mail carrier if they're helping your business. Yes, I just like to know who our mail carrier is. We had that lady who wasn't very good. And then we had this guy who come every day, was on top of it, wanted to give us bags, who's our carrier for like 3 weeks. And he's like, yeah, I bid off. And then this other lady shows up saying, well, it's going to be a couple of weeks. So it's that seniority bidding process. So hopefully here very soon we'll know who we're going to have permanently. Yeah. Callie Deb says sales have picked up slightly. Good. And we got something here. Let me just see where I left off so I don't miss my place. Elite Feet Plus says, thank you for the response to my email. Appreciate your insight, even though eBay did not reverse the negative feedback. Wow. Well, thank you for the super chat. I'm sorry that it didn't work out for you. I do know that eBay is getting a little bit strict on removing negative feedback. And, all you really can do is just put a very professional reply. I mean, you may have something you want to say about the buyer, but that's not the place for it. Just put, in a professional way, maybe what you try to do to resolve the situation so that your next buyer, if they're looking at that, they'll say, okay, well, at least this person isn't rude, that type of thing. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you on that. See if I can catch up to where we were. Let's see. Honor Squaw says, my hubby will have to continue to work with no pay, federal. So here we are on the 25th of September. I do know that they were talking about the whole shutdown effective the 1st of October, I believe. So I'm not sure where that is, but I do know there's a pretty big fight on that to shut things down until they can get the spending back in order. So hopefully that doesn't hurt you too bad.
I don't like the sand color. What does that mean? Are you talking about my shirt?
The sand color?
What does that mean?
Looks a little sandy. I don't know.
It's perfect for fall.
Sherry Norton says, hi, no sales all weekend.
Oh.
Tommy says, it does look like a midget cup for sure. It's a shield. It's the Raiders logo. No one design says, well, now you can't unsee the groin cup. Josh Galt, thanks for being here, Josh. Hi, John and Jenna. Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. We missed your show today. I was looking for it. Actually, I found myself about 9:56 a.m. Pacific time, 4 minutes before your show. I'm like, okay, I'm in the middle of editing this video. I need to hurry up, so I was trying to hurry myself up just to find that you weren't having a show anyway. So I'm like, I guess I'll go back to just.
But how did your daughter do? I hope she did well.
Yeah, it's 6:18 now. So hopefully she did good. Josh Avenando says, hello, when you sell sneakers, would you clean the sneakers and the insole, or will you just clean the sneaker and sell the sneaker without any insole? We're leaving the insole in unless there's a problem. If it looks jacked up, then I don't even know if I'm selling it. I mean, you can buy insoles.
If it's that bad, then no, I'm not selling it.
Yeah. But if it looks, clean, sometimes there's like lint and stuff in there, clean it out. Take, like a piece of tape. What I like to do is a pretty good quality piece of tape, and I just go in there and just, pull up whatever lint and stuff is in there. Make it look presentable. If it's a used shoe, people aren't going to care as much as if you're trying to pass it off as new, which you shouldn't be. Tommy says, John doesn't plan well. He should be taking a tanker, buying gas and selling it in California for a few cents cheaper. Yeah, I just don't have that kind of operation, unfortunately. I don't think that's legal anyway. Josh Galt wants to know how Larry Todd's feeling. Hopefully he is feeling better. Let's see. Bobble says, oh my God, 2 FBM buyers just texted they are on their way to arrive at my house at the same time. That's Facebook Marketplace.
Oh.
So are they trying to buy the same item? So if they're buying different things, and cool. Just
I
when
hope
you're
they're
here,
not
here.
there to buy the same item.
So I would be like, well, whoever gets here first is getting it. So unless you're close, you might want to, I don't know, wait. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like dealing with Facebook Marketplace, because, okay, 2 are coming. Maybe only 1 will show up. There are a lot of those people just
I don't really
aren't
care
very
for
reliable.
Facebook Marketplace.
Larry Todd says, I'm better, but still coughing. Yeah, I remember
that
the COVID.
cough lingers forever.
Yeah. Hopefully you're able to smell okay. That's that smell. Everything smells funny. Tommy Bernard, if you want to sell them and not get flamed in feedback, you need to clean inside and out of your shoe. Yeah, you really do need to. Yeah. And you know what I did last night? I took a pair of those boots. So I'm migrating. So what I did was my main account, like I said in the video, I'm moving stuff around. So I literally ended like 50 items in my main account that I deemed to be under the $25 threshold. So that's in my unsolds. So now I'm going to be gradually moving those items over to the other account, but vice versa. I'm taking the stuff that's over 25 and moving it into the main from the crappy store. We have a bunch of boots that were from that military surplus. And I picked out one of the boots, and it was just on the soles. They were dirty. They were dirty. And they had like
on the inside.
On the outside, they like the front had some dirt that I easily got off with some goof off. Some of this stuff, I like this stuff. This goof off came off real good, and then the bottoms, and I kind of cleaned them up a little bit better. Redid some of the photos on that and put them on my account, but sometimes got to do that. But yeah, I'd say you want to clean them as best as you can. I mean, I've seen.
I don't know that I even cleaned those.
Yeah, I don't think you did, and I think that may be why they didn't sell.
But no, that they didn't look like they needed to be cleaned.
They did. On the front, you could see like a spot in the very front bottom, on almost all the photos where it looked dirty. I got that cleaned up and all that. But you just got to consider that. I have seen people actually sell shoes that are just nasty dirty, but you look at the prices they're getting, they're almost giving the shoes away. If that person would have taken the time to clean them up real good, they probably would have been able to sell them for a little bit more. Richard says, John, I'm with you. There are plenty of things I'll blow my money on. Gas, not one of them. I just have a hard time doing it. I just, when I see that, we were told it was expensive. When we actually got into LA, and I'm looking at the prices, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It's like literally $2.40 more than it is out here. Kelly says, evening, folks. Sales are about half my normal for the weekend. Better than nothing, I guess. Yeah, it is better than nothing. I mean, it certainly, I mean, I kind of plan in my mind, like, okay, I'm going to be making this amount the next week. And I usually plan to make about half of what I normally make, so that if I make anything more than that, it's extra, that type of thing. And I always want to trick my mind into thinking that I'm not going to get as much as I do when I'm planning everything out, paying bills. And then when more comes in, then it just makes it a little bit more comfortable. Art just got a sale. Awesome.
Sweet.
Let's see. Biscuit Butts says, I'm ready for the COVID breeding event this weekend at Cincinnati. I'm just hoping to get there.
No, I just don't. I just want to get there with no health issues.
Right.
I have a pulled muscle or pinched nerve or something, because our granddaughter she's 2, but she's certainly not light anymore. And I was rocking her to sleep, and my body's not used to doing that.
So we played babysitter on Saturday evening. My daughter and son-in-law went to the motocross at
Supercross.
Motocross,
It's
whatever.
A
they ride a little bike around
motocross and
circles.
Supercross combined.
Yeah, they ride a little bike around in circles for a few hours, and then it was a pretty big event. Apparently, they went. They're like been wanting to go for months and didn't really have anyone. And we like to go out and visit anyway, so we came.
Well, as long as they give us enough notice, which that she did. As soon as they got tickets, she called me and said, "Hey, I need you to pencil us in for this weekend."
Yeah.
So
Urethra says you're supposed to collect bags of aluminum cans to take to Cali for recycling. Old school Vegas way of paying for your gas money. But we don't have any cans. We don't really drink sodas or anything.
Anything out of a can.
Yeah, I like my ice drinks, but normally I'm just drinking water. One got a thing for sparklets. I love sparklets water, and got the whole cooler and extra bottles and all that. And we're drinking more water now because of it, which is a good thing. Mike Gertis says, hi, I had a good 7-day sales period, but still way down. Thankful for my repeat buyers. $564 sold all this morning. Crickets now. But I've had days like that where, you've had a really good day and it's almost like eBay says, okay, this guy or girl has had enough. We're cutting them off and they'll just have to check back with us tomorrow, and sales just die until tomorrow. I don't know why or how that is. It's one of those things. Like I'll wake up in the morning with a lot of offers to send. Here's another one. And I'm not getting a whole lot of offers though lately. I'm just not. I don't, it was like a few weeks ago, I was getting them every morning when I woke up. And now, if I get one offer every 2 days, it's a good thing. No One Designs says Rite Aid still exists. Well, it does, but they're closing shop here. They didn't get bought out by CVS. Maybe some of them might have been, but no, they're closing shop though. AJ13 says I'm late, but here. Thanks for being here. And I think that's 1-3, right? Or is it AJI3? I never know. eBay was slow, but picked up today, and Amazon is picking up. This weekend was the best weekend in months, so hopefully things are turning around for all of us. And see, some people are saying that, but a lot of folks are saying quite the opposite. And I did a little, checking out other stores, and some of these stores, some of you watching know what I'm talking about because I was looking at your stores, and it kind of just confirmed what I saw in my own account, that things aren't right. Something's not right. Let's see. Tommy says Walgreens shut down a ton of Rite Aids.
Yeah, we have way more Rite Aids than CVS's. I think there's only one Rite Aid in the entire valley.
Mm-hmm. Ed says, hey, John and Jenna, sorry I've been away. I've been so busy after work and as usual life. Well, hey, I understand. And you're out in the middle of $6.99 a gallon land out in LA.
Yeah, we were talking about you. I hope your ears weren't ringing.
I was saying, you know what? I feel bad for Ed. He has to deal with this gas. It's just, I don't think I could do it. I know I could. That's why we jumped ship.
Yeah, I know we couldn't.
Had to get away because, and what's crazy about the whole thing in California? Usually in the summer months, they have this summer blend, right? Mm-hmm. And it jacks up the price of gas. It's their excuse to really up the price of gasoline. Yeah. And after Labor Day, well, the summer blend goes away and gas prices go down a little bit. Well, they didn't this time. This year, they're really crazy high.
Yeah, though I thought for sure at least they would go down after Labor Day.
Yeah. Let's see. Silver Hair Stacker says, my mail carrier looks like one of those orcs from Lord of the Rings. And this might be one of the orcs from the Lord of the Rings here. I think it could be FedEx, though. They usually come about this. They usually come before the mail carrier does. Ed says, I had no eBay sales, but I did have 2 Grailed, 3 Posh, and 1 Mercari. So Grailed, tell me about that, Ed. That's more of a like a Poshmark for the younger kids, the younger generation, or what? Never took the time to see what that's all about. Ava Prachar says, slow sales and offers too. Yeah, offers seem to just have gone away. I used to get them all the time. And then I'd complain, well, this one isn't such a great offer. And, you come back with a little bit more on the offer to try to make more money on the item. But I can't even take a low ball anymore. It's just like I haven't seen one in days. The Thrifty Loon loves Jenna's shirt. I'll let her know. And PTS Treasure says, had my second chargeback this weekend. Yesterday was notified it is closed and buyer no longer on platform. Same happened with my first one, Wild. But what you just said there, the buyer is no longer on the platform. That's what needs to happen. If a buyer is going to circumvent eBay's return process, you're communicating with your buyer, yet they're going to take it upon themselves to go right to their bank so they can get their money back and keep the item. eBay needs to get rid of those people. That's my argument. I don't mind losing a chargeback, but get that guy off the site, because it's goes against what the process is about. Look, if we try to pull a game on a buyer like that, eBay would remove us so fast off the site, it's not even funny. But yet, the person that did my chargeback, they're still there. Go figure. Lenny K, just got my second sale of the day. First one was at 3 a.m. this morning. Tommy got a negative. What? And claim reversed last night. Buyer put wrong address and pissed they didn't get it. Yeah, that's one to fight. If they put the wrong address, like some will, forget they moved, right? They may have not used eBay for a while. They move, and then a couple months pass. Here they are placing an order, and they're on autopilot. They don't even realize until after they hit submit that the address is wrong. And even then, one guy tried to say, and he didn't leave me a negative feedback because he was trying to get eBay to step in. He opened a claim saying that he entered in the proper address, but eBay gave me the old one. And that's why they didn't get it. Okay. Jim's Luck says, hi, John and Jenna. I was selling for a long time on eBay, but quit about a year ago, but still buy on eBay. Last few days, I've received the error message, seller, do not ship to your location at checkout. Now, I'm assuming you're within the United States. If I'm not mistaken, that should not be a problem. Now, one thing you could be getting, I wanted to talk about this today, so I'm glad that you had mentioned buyer problems. One thing we have to consider is PayPal has changed the way they handle your money. So it used to be you have a debit card or you'd have a checking account linked up with your PayPal account. And so this $50 item, I don't have a balance in my PayPal account, but I would go in and just buy it, and they would debit my debit card if that was my primary form of payment, or my bank account, and I'd see that come out of my bank account shortly thereafter, and all was well with the world. But now you have to have an outstanding balance in your PayPal balance for you to use your PayPal. If you don't, they're not going to debit your card anymore, and that change was earlier this month. So I had to, I have the PayPal debit card, right? But the problem with the PayPal debit card is if I don't keep an outstanding balance in there, it's no good to me. And a lot of buyers are running into that problem where they can't check out. They're used to using PayPal because they don't want to give eBay their credit card information. And, they feel comfortable keeping it on PayPal as they have for all these years. And now they are having problems because they don't have money in that PayPal account. That could be another reason why we're having some problems. Jerry says, Jenna, your shirt matches your hair perfectly.
It does, but not for long.
Uh-oh. What are you going to turn it like brown or something? What are you going to do?
No, I'm just going more. It's going to be not quite because, so on Sunday, we went to church with the kids and we got baptized. And they were doing an interview of us and put it up on their Instagram or whatever. And the sun was directly on us. And I was telling John, why does my hair look so red? I've never, my hair is not red, it's blonde. But it's like a dirty blonde, like a strawberry blondish. But my hair looked red in the video, and I was like, oh, no. I don't look cute as a red.
Yeah. You look cute. You look cute as a green. I'm just saying. Jem's Luck says that might have something to do with slow sales. As far as what Jem's Luck is saying, I think that the seller does not ship to your location error. Look, we as sellers only see what sellers go through. Unless we buy something and encounter these problems ourselves, or someone reaches out to you, you're not going to know even what these buyers are going through. And I wouldn't doubt that you have a lot of buyers who aren't even reporting these things. They're encountering it. They try it a few times. They keep encountering it. I know what I would do. I'm not going to call eBay. It's so hard to get in touch with eBay anyway. I'm going to move on. I'm going to maybe go to another platform and try to find it. And if I can't find it there, maybe I'll check back in a day or two. So that might be what's happening here. Let's see. Mark says, you think that you have bad gas price in the USA? Well, In Canada, we pay $1.70 per liter. That's $6.80 a gallon.
Oh,
wow.
No.
That's horrible.
I would not be driving anywhere.
Ed says, I got to say, I haven't cleaned any shoes, and I have gotten shoes with all that animal hair on the inside, and people have still bought it with positive feedback.
Yeah.
Well, they probably didn't notice it. You know, they put their feet in it. It fit. Awesome.
I get out as much. I mean, if I get a lot of hair, if there's a lot of like dog hair or something on the inside of the shoe, I get out as much as I possibly can. But certainly I can't get everything because it gets interwoven into the soles and the sides of the shoes. So if there's one hair, two hairs, you know, that's definitely possible.
Yeah.
I can only do so much. And, you know, I mean, I get in there. I'm more meticulous than he is. And I get in there with tweezers and I have a little knife that I, you know, get the little rolled balls of lint.
That's another thing you can do. You can take a knife and scrape it so it's not damaging the fabric, and that helps.
You know what works really well? So if you have, any woman in your life that might microderm their face with a little tiny face shaver, I have those, and I have a whole pack of them.
You mean the female mustaches?
Well, yeah, I don't get a mustache, but I have peach fuzz.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I use those on the inside of the shoe, and I just basically shave the inside of it off, and it looks brand new.
Oh, okay. So Ed says, although I'm sure it would have sold faster if I did clean them. I'm certain that it will. Someone might see it and go, you know, I can handle a little bit, but no, that's a little bit too dirty for me, and they move on. Thomas says, Ed, we may have found the problem. I mean, I don't care if you're selling shoes. It could be a coffee machine. It could be clothing. You got to clean the stuff you're selling, because two things. Number one, if the image shows, well, you're going to lose buyers that say, okay, well, I see the stains there, or I see this is not something I want to deal with, and they move on. Or if it doesn't show and the stain is there, that's an INAD. That's a potential INAD where they're going to now say, due to I didn't see this in the photos. I want to send this back. I didn't realize it was this dirty. So good idea to just try to clean it to the best of your ability.
Hold on. No One Design says, yay, I just got a return. Woohoo. That like button does work.
Yeah, it helps pass on my returns to certain viewers. Sorry. Ferret Fan says, I cut little 1-inch squares of fabric sheets and put them in all my used shoes when I ship them. I clean well and use ozone spray when I list them, but if I find shoes smell when sourcing, I don't buy them. So when you're buying these shoes, are you actually doing the sniff test?
I can't smell shoes, or that just is gross.
I know what we're going to do. When we go sourcing in Cincinnati, we go to the yard sales this weekend. If I find some shoes, I'm going to say, Archie, come here. And I'm going to stick these up to his nose and say, so how was it? Did it smell like yours? And if it didn't smell like yours, I'm buying them.
Oh, wow.
Ed says, I'm actually somewhat shifting away from sales shoes, Tommy. Lately, I've been selling hats, shirts, and bags. Now, why is that? Is it because you're just not able to get them anymore? Maybe you're not getting it at the price point. Curious to know why that is. Because I
just don't want to deal with shoes. Some people don't. Some people don't like them. Yeah. Some people don't want to put in the effort for them. And that's not, to say that it's not, shoes are not for everyone. I mean, as Tommy knows.
Well, I sold the pair of Brooks we picked up. Those ones right there.
Wait, did you take them off of Posh?
Not yet. Good thing I brought it up, right? So,
I got scolded.
Yes.
I got scolded for not taking down an item.
Yeah.
And here we are.
It happens, right? Just had so much on my plate. Bobbles says, I've had ADHD perfection issues. I can't help but meticulously waste time cleaning. Why they have to be valuable? Magic erasers have given me PTSD.
Oh, I got a sale today.
Did you get a sale?
I did.
On what?
I got a pair of the Polo shoes.
Oh, yeah. Polo Association.
Women's shoes.
U.S. Polo Association.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cross-training shoes.
$16.19 plus shipping. Yeah, that's not bad. Tommy says, wait till you get your first person claiming you put them in the hospital because the dryer sheet closed up their throat. Buyers are bonkers with smell. Yeah, you got to be careful.
That is true.
I can tell you, we used to have a lot of people that would complain when they took their train trip, and they would take their little sleeping accommodation, and they would get kind of weird about the chemicals that we used in the room. And what are you doing?
And I need to. Oh.
No, you don't. We don't have to do that right now.
I did.
Okay. So Devon says, I think I scored some vintage Levi's listening and doing some research. Awesome. Ooh. Awesome. Let's see.
I like vintage.
Larry Todd says, Sparklets is the new margarita.
Yeah.
It's so refreshing. It's just clean water. I love it. When you live out in Vegas, you get a lot of hard water. And it's just
water. Even the bottled water is not good.
No, not really. Let's see. Sparkles Unique Boutique Shop says eBay randomly over the weekend duplicated 68 of my listings. I noticed it when my totals were more than it should have been. I didn't do any changes. Wow. Yeah.
Well, that's like we woke up this morning and I don't know how or why or what, but some of the listings that are from John's, the main account, were on Mercari. And I'm like, I would never put that on there. So how did that get there?
I think I asked you to do some for me.
No, I did not do.
Okay. Well, I know that the cross-listing tool ain't going to put them there themselves, but
I'm telling you,
let's just say it's just been weird.
Because you have to, it's not just a click and, send over. I have to go through and put in all the details of the thing on Mercari. So no, I did not ever do that.
But this here, Jovial had an issue about a month or two back where they went in and put her listing as a test listing, and they left it active.
Didn't take those down either, did you?
I don't know. So anyway, Bill York says, hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. And Urethra says, me and Sparklets Water making friends. Gotta love Sparklets Water. I love Sparklets. Let's see. Bevy's Classic Collectibles. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. We have Shalia online. I finally made a live show. Jenna, as always, you looking amazing, girl.
Thanks. I don't feel amazing today.
Callie Debs, everything is very expensive here in LA County. You got that right. Went to the grocery store to pick up stuff to do a little barbecue, right? And it was like, you got to be kidding me right now. These prices are crazy.
We left the grocery store just feeling so, I don't even know the word for it, just grateful for what we have here in Vegas.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that we would have survived in California doing our eBay business.
Would have been tough.
To be quite honest.
Yeah, the cost of everything plus state tax that you got to pay. It's
just insane. Yeah. And that's when we were having the conversation about Ed. Like, I don't know how anybody survives in LA County, let alone,
Gotta be tough.
It's gotta be hard.
Biff says eBay Q3 earning report is less than a month away. It'll tell all. I think so. But I think it's going to tell a similar story where people have left the platform, sales have fallen off, and eBay still found a way to at least break even because they've charged us upwards of 10 to 15% promoted listing fees. Bill York says, you're not old. I'm 80. You're a whippersnapper. Well, hey, you're active. You're able to do what you do at 80. That's awesome. So it can't be that bad. Ed the Reselling Rider says, I'm 40 cents away from $6 gas. Thankfully, I'm near my work, but I'm seriously wanting to get an electric bicycle now. Save me a bunch of money.
Yeah, but riding a bike, I don't know what your hours for work are, but, well.
Yeah, it is what it is. We wish you the best, Ed.
Yeah. It's scary.
Tommy says, I had a normal weekend. Posh actually popped off a bit. Interesting. So that made up for things. We didn't have a whole lot of Posh going on. Ed says, I think Grailed is more for like retro fashion stuff. I just list the same stuff there, and I'm selling hats, shoes, and some clothes there. Okay. But you're making whatever you're able to find work there. That's good. Ping says, my son bought an electric bike. He is in Santa Ana and works at UCI in Irvine. I'm more worried about when you park the thing, is it going to be there when you get back?
Yeah.
Henri Squaw says, I got one closed in my favor today as well. That's I believe, a negative, maybe. Urethra says, when I lived in LA, I just took the subway, trains, and buses. If you frighten easily, the gas is worth it. Yeah.
Very, very true.
I
you wouldn't catch me on a subway.
Yeah,
train
I guess it's not
bus.
New York, right? I guess that's a different story altogether. Charles says the premium in California is going up to $10. Wow.
Holy cow.
I mean, okay. Now, some will say there's this idea that they're trying to get people to move away from gas guzzling cars into electric cars. But from what I understand, there's not enough resources to, if everyone switched over to an electric vehicle, there wouldn't be enough resources to create those batteries. In fact, I don't think there's enough power on the grid to give everyone enough fuel to move from point A to point B.
And Ed says he works 3:30 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Oh,
Ain't no way in hell you are getting me on a bike at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Just pay the extra for the gas, Ed.
Be safe, Ed. That's all I can
Ed says, Ping, I've been wanting to get an e-bike, but my family worried because I have to leave at home at 3:30 a.m. So they'll think I'll get stat. I don't want to. I don't want to wonder where did Ed go and then see you somewhere in the LA Times. So no, we're not doing that. Lisa,
he said we're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
He's
Ed.
the dad.
We're making the decision for you. You can't do that. No electric bike for you. Lisa says, hi there. Up my promotions to 12%. Created combined shipping, and I finally have been multiple items in one order sold. I've been getting sales every day. Oh, there you go. Awesome. But I think that upping the promotions is actually doing something, because remember, if everyone promotes at 5%, now you're relying on the other factors in the sale, the price, your photos, your item specifics, if they're relevant. And I really think that can make a difference between setting yourself apart or being part of the pack. Steve says, I've had slow sales this weekend. Also haven't been haven't been able to work the store much recently.
Well, we haven't seen you either, Steve. It's so nice to have you back.
Yeah, we haven't seen Jack either. Where's Jack?
I don't know.
He was back for a while.
He was back for a little while.
Maybe I didn't answer one of his questions very well. Salami says, I had a message from eBay saying an item I've sold was canceled and I should not ship it. Item was sold last week on Tuesday. Got the message from eBay today.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen that too, but they'll cover you on that. So I guess the buyer may have been suspicious, have suspicious activity. And, it's not anything that you should worry about. They'll cover you. Seller protection on that one. Biff says, Etsy doing better than eBay today. This should never be happening. I don't think, it should never be happening, right?
I agree.
Unless those Etsy buyers are going, eBay buyers are going to Etsy, right?
I think Etsy's a whole different type of different platform.
Yeah. And then No One Designs says, also eBay said the buyer is no longer on the platform. Good. Get those bad buyers off this platform. Hopefully, look, I think eBay is worried about losing more buyers, but we don't want the wrong buyers on the platform anyway. Yeah. Tommy says, I get about one of those a month. Lately, all been going to Oregon. Stolen accounts, I guess. Only Cool Stuff is with us. Thanks for being here. And then we have Bearded PokeTuber. Thanks for being here. And then Thomas said they got nutty with sacramental wine. Maybe had a hot tub party that explains the red hue. I missed that. I don't know what he's saying. Okay, Tommy, the gold farmers from video games are moving to eBay, I guess. I think that's what he's talking about. Only Cool Stuff says, I've randomly had an amazing Sunday/Monday of sales, but I can't explain why. It's all a mystery.
It is all a mystery.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Ed says, oh, trust me, I take pictures of that hair and put it in descriptions. Happy customers. Wow. I'd say take the extra 20, 30 seconds and get that hair out of there. Just take a piece of tape, roll it over your finger like it's making a little lint roller, and just go into the shoe and take it out that way. Zahir is tearing up the sales. And Josh Avenando says, I bought these Air Jordans from Whatnot, but then I received them like they smelled like smoke. Been cleaning the inside with Mr. Clean Lysol and left it for a day, and the smell did not go away. Didn't someone say there's another way to get smell out? Didn't they tell you what it was when we were talking about that? Of course, you want to air it out. Try baking soda.
Baking soda is. I use baking soda to wash clothes, especially towels. I will dump a scoop of baby, almost a baby powder. Not baby powder.
That'll work.
Baking soda inside the washer. And that works. I haven't ever had to try it on a shoe.
Tommy says, here's a trick. Use nitrile gloves when cleaning the shoes. They grip all the hair and a rubber brush for the insoles. No Design says, yeah, you just got to return. Woohoo. That's like button does work. Reverend Michael C. Piper, I totally could have baptized you guys, but I'm ordained to the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. Would have been legal and everything, but much more hilarious. Yeah. Just jump in this vat of sauce.
Yeah.
Ed says, I do smell the shoes. Make sure they don't smell like a person's behind.
Oh,
that's
God.
just wrong. The Tommy Bernard podcast says, not a chance you're getting anything near Archie's nose. With all the YouTubers at the rally, Archie will be busy sniffing other things if you catch my drift. Wow.
Archie,
oh, wow.
Archie.
Hey, Tommy, are you going to the event? No?
He's not going. Are you kidding?
Any viewers that are planning on attending or in the area, because we want to meet up with some folks around noon on Sunday, if you guys are going to be in that area. So haven't figured out where. Jenna's kind of on that assignment.
What am I doing?
But we're going to have our live stream this week on Thursday.
What am I doing?
We're going to figure out a place where anybody that watches the show can do a little meetup.
I forgot about that task. I better get on it.
Yeah. And so we're going to have a live stream this Thursday because we're flying out the crack of dawn on Friday.
God.
And so this will be hopefully one of the last Thursday live casts or live streams we're going to have.
For a little while.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And so if you're going out that way to the event, to the reseller rally this weekend and or are in the Cincinnati area, let us know. We'd love to meet up with you, maybe have lunch and just talk shop, right?
Yeah.
Ed says, I've had more competition at my sourcing area. I've been getting a bunch of great bulk buys for hats, clothing, and bags. Still list shoes, but what I get might not be as desirable as what Tommy gets. And it's all about what you can find, right? Yeah. I think that's what separates the more successful niche sellers from those who aren't. If you're able to get a constant supplier or more than one supplier and get it at a good price, that's where you're going to get it. So obviously Tommy has established a really good relationship with multiple sellers, and that's the key. I promise you, he does nothing better than that. That's the best thing that he does for his business is he's able to secure the type of items he's able to get, and he does so at a good price. Everything else falls into place once you do that. Charles McBride.
Todd got a cha-ching.
Oh, Todd got a cha-ching. Awesome. Charles McBride says, hi, allegedly it's a good place to get the news on the economy on YouTube. Not really.
Not really.
I mean, look, unless you're been under a rock for the last couple of years, I've been talking about how the economy has been kind of funky anyway for really a good couple of years. I think it's really starting to rear its ugly head, and I think a lot of people are seeing it. I mean, not even talking about reselling right now. People talking about losing their job potentially. That's not good. Junior says, hello, John and Jenna. On your posted items on eBay, do you use a camera or a scanner for photos? 100%. We use my iPhone 14 Pro. I like the Pro. The Pro models have a better
13.
Yeah, should be getting.
I don't have 13.
You have a 13 Max.
Pro Max.
Something like that. It's a bigger phone.
I have the bigger one.
Yeah. Tommy.
I want the 15.
They're out there, Ed. I find new stores. Seems like daily selling identical items. Let's see. And then Junk Trader says, Larry Todd, quit stealing all the sales.
Please.
It'll happen. Just be patient. Minnie Duke says, hello, everyone.
24 hours.
How are you, John and Jenna? Excellent. Other than that, we're looking forward to a trip. I'm excited to go out to Cincinnati. I have a video idea that I'm going to try to pull off out there. So let's see if I can do it. And it should be a fun trip. Chastity says, buyer messaged me about taking a $20 offer on an item, combined shipping with an item that they had already paid for. I agreed and waited for him to send the offer. Okay, as long as you're good with it. Last thing you want is, okay, you sold an item to this person. Now they're coming at you with a low ball offer. And now, okay, what do, right? Let your cost of goods and how long that item's been sitting there determine if you take it or not. Shelly says, shipping prices increased. Food prices have doubled. Food prices have gone up. It's
especially Ralph's.
Yeah, it's out in California. There's a place called Ralph's. It's a Kroger part of the Kroger group, and prices just are horrible out there. Thomas says, I don't think John is scanning golf clubs or toilet seats. My guess is they're using a phone to take photos. This. Where did I go? Where did it go? My scanner. Where's my scanner? I guess I could take this, but the range is only like 30 feet. That wouldn't work. Wow. Larry Todd, another one. He is hogging them all up. Ed says, imagine me with the family of 4 and me being the sole provider. Yay, me.
Yeah.
I commend you. Look, that's awesome.
For you, Ed.
It's awesome that you are stepping up to take care of what you got to take care of.
Yeah. Ed's a good man.
It's just I was there last year with you in the sales being bad, and it's kind of panic time, right? What do you do? I would say if you're just focused on selling those few categories that you're talking about, maybe it's time to expand that. And maybe it's kind of scary because you're not familiar with some other things, or maybe not feeling comfortable. But I think you got to get out of your comfort zone and really get uncomfortable, and that'll help you step up to the next level. Shelly says, I blame Bidenomics. It's just this world.
So do I.
Chastity.
So do I.
It can't be helpful when we're sending all this money to support a war, I guess. But rather support our folks here at home. Chastity says, offer came in overnight, so I didn't accept as I was sleeping. When I woke up, he had bought and paid for it at the $20 price, and the offer was still open. Weird. But I'm sure it was maybe an offer to multiple people, because when you send that offer, it does go to all the interested watchers or people who maybe weren't interested. But the fact that it was open when you finally sold it, it should have closed all those. I don't like to do the political thing. I am never going to change anyone's mind by telling you what I think. So I'll just leave it at that. I'm trusting. We have 170 some odd people watching right now. And aside from asking you to hit the like button, I'm never going to ask you to really do anything else. I'm going to trust that you have your life experience has allowed you to form your own conclusion as to what you want to do. I'm more interested in helping you figure out within our current conditions how to get you sort of on the right track. And anything
with
above
eBay, not
I mean, but that's what I'm talking about. This is Flipping Ain't Easy. We are an eBay reseller channel, and that's pretty much it. But the economy does come into play, unfortunately, into the things that we have to consider. Tommy says, if the economy is causing eBay sales, I hope it gets 10 times worse. This year has been tremendous. Sure, there's bad days, but overall amazing year. And I could say the same exact thing.
We could say the same.
This has been a great year. I went from last year where I had money at the beginning of the year in the bank, and by the time the year was over with, we were scraping, to the first month of the year, still scraping, to now October, coming up on October, and I have money in the bank. And we're building up money in the bank and being able to pay for everything. And it's just that feeling of being able to breathe, I know how it is to scrape from one bill to the next, and it's not a fun thing. It's not. Let's see. Thomas says, lies, Todd. You just finally stopped being a tightwad and promoted your listings.
No, because the one.
I'm having my best year, and even though Tommy said I wouldn't. Okay. That had been about the sales. Callie Deb says, Posh and Etsy are doing better than eBay. I don't know if they're doing. I don't know if they're doing better numbers.
For Deb, it's
well, yeah.
It doesn't mean that it's
for her. It's, and again, all this sales talk we're having is entirely dependent on what you're selling. Okay.
Yeah.
So someone like Tommy, he has different results than maybe Ed, and Ed's going to have different results than me. I can report to you, this has been our best year. We have 3 months to go, and I want to see it continue on the same pace. So, I'm trying to do everything I can. I guess I can just sit back and cruise control into Q4 and think that everything's going to take care of itself, but that's not my mentality. Let me go back here.
Roman's here.
Roman. It says Archie traded his reseller rally tickets for tickets to the Vegas Moonlight Bunny Ranch.
Wow. That is something he would do.
Poor Archie. Poor Archie. I think he needs to make a video to set the record straight on that.
What's going on?
I think he needs to make a video to set the record straight on that one. Because, there's times where Archie, we are in communication like most days. And then for like days on end, he like disappears and you cannot get a hold of the guy. So maybe there's some validity to that. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Going back to where I was, Simple and Beautiful says, hey, John and Jenna.
Simple, beautiful.
Okay, that
Simple
too.
And beautiful.
Hey, John and Jenna, just recently had a scam buyer with only 5 feedbacks. I have a setting put on eBay to not offer items to people with less than 5. Somehow this buyer was able to. Well, they didn't also wanted, what is the best way to handle a swap out buy scam buyer? Thanks again. Well, you set your settings for less than 5. If they had 5, then they barely made the threshold on that. As far as the scam, the swap out scam, you have, depending on how your account is set up and what your seller rating is, you have the ability, once you get the item back, to use the refund tool. And that refund tool allows you to deduct up to 50% on the item. Of course, never give back the shipping if you charge it separate. If it's built into your price, you offer free shipping, well, you're going to have to just give a 50% reduction. But I never give the shipping that I charge, and I deduct it up to 50%. But I think deducting less than 50% doesn't make any sense, because if you're using that tool, eBay, normally when you give a full refund on eBay, they give you your eBay fees back. But if you make an adjustment on that, you do not get your fees back. So for me, 50% or I'm not using the tool. In this case, they swapped it out. Maybe you can then take that item, if it's salvageable, and sell it for parts of repair. I don't know what it is that you're getting back. It used to be you can go on ic3.gov, file the paperwork, contact eBay, let them know, hey, this is a scammer. I went through the steps, filed through ic3.gov. They'd send you a refund, make you whole, but it seems like they do not do that process anymore. So many changes at eBay, and a lot of these were kind of unwritten rules, unwritten things that they do and help you with that they're no longer doing. It's pretty sad.
Jerry, on the next one. Yeah, go ahead and read it.
You can also use a charcoal bag to get rid of smells too.
Yes, I did hear that too. I haven't tried it, but I heard that works great.
Josh says, thanks. I'll try baking soda, see if the smell comes off. Worst case, I'll dump them in a bucket of Fabuloso.
There you go.
Well, who wants their shoes to smell like that?
Some people do.
Oh, man. Garden Resell Thrift says, yeah, I heard from our perfectly listing party this morning, Etsy is doing better than eBay. Now, are they doing better overall? I don't think they're doing better overall as a platform. eBay's so much larger with so many items, more than Etsy has. But maybe they're on the rise and eBay's on the decline, maybe. Let's see here. Semper Fi, I haven't heard from you in a while. Had a customer ask me if item was sealed, went and double-checked, and of course, no buy. I had someone that asked me, we have this Tefal deep fryer. I want to keep it. I really want to keep it. It is so cool. Has a little storage, has a little oil thing that, you can drain the oil and it'll drain it into this little thing and you just take it out. Doesn't make a mess. Chicken wings are so much better when they're deep fried. But I digress. If this thing is a brand new condition and it was a customer return, they returned it without the original box, and it's complete, works great. Took photos of it, took great photos of it, and I used my background removal tool. And they sent me a message saying, can you send me pictures of the actual item? These look like stock photos, and I want to make sure that this item's in new condition. So this is new. These are the photos of the item itself, and we use a background removal tool for our photos. And I said, this is a new item, and they never contacted me back. And it was an immediate response. So who knows? Maybe they didn't believe me. Reverend Michael C. Piper, sales related comment though. I sell CGC graded comics in a niche store about 12 days ago. I sold a broken Alienware laptop and it seemed to spike my sales to double about 10 days. I have noticed that when you have like that really, really good item, for whatever reason, it seems to spike sales throughout other items in your store. I've noticed that. And again, there's nothing documented on this. Many people might say, oh, here we go again, just, John making stuff up. But sometimes as resellers, we go with what works, right? And sometimes we notice things, and then every time that happens, we think there must be something to it. And it just happened too many times for me over the last 3 years for me to just think that's a coincidence. Rhino Dynamite says, hi, I've recently been double charged. Ever happened to you? It happens, but one thing you have to notice is when you're looking at your bank statement, if it's a recent charge, it'll say pending. And so you want to give it a few days before it says complete. Once it's completed, now that's an actual charge. Chances are you're going to have 2 charges until the first one drops off. We used to see that all the time. Reverend says, I'm out of broken electronics now, and my sales dropped back down to the usual low again yesterday. I think there's a thing about that. I don't think it's necessarily the Alienware laptop. Could be you get a broken iPhone, but something with high demand, really high demand, I think certainly can help. Bobble says, I have an offer for a ride to the rally, but no tickets. Don't know how I'd wander around Cincy, wear a silly sticker badge. Well, here's the thing. They're having an event, and you have to buy tickets for this. You have to go check out, I believe, Pete's Instagram. Pete, if you're watching, maybe you can drop a link in the chat instead of dropping your little eyes that you usually do.
Googly eyes.
But maybe a link in the chat where they can buy tickets for the event on Friday night, where it's going to be like the first hour as an open bar and hors d'oeuvres, that type of thing. And I believe Trash to Cash is going to do a little their live podcast, or they are going to record their podcast, but they won't be put out till later. Nonetheless, it's going to be kind of a fun networking event for everyone. But heck, forget that. I mean, if you can't find tickets for the cruise, there's a lot of us doing yard sales and just meeting up and networking the whole weekend. PTS says, I just made a Macari sale. Now I'm scared. Wouldn't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Keep pushing forward. Tommy says, I've changed my business several times over the years when finding new sources. I have to agree that nothing in reselling is more important than the items we list. Yeah. And what you buy them for. I could go out and buy something really, really good.
Yeah.
But if I'm making nothing when it's all said and done, what did I accomplish? I wasted my time. Garden Resell Thrifts. Hit that thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. Tommy says, even though I have an amazing connection, I'm always looking as much as possible for the next thing or backup. Can all go away tomorrow. That's right. Rhino says, Ping G, I hope so, because I was charged on my bank account twice and I don't want to be scammed. Yeah, give it a few days.
Yeah, just keep an eye on it.
Here's the good thing. You have remedy. You can go through your bank or your card and file a similar to what is called a chargeback, a dispute. And they'll take it off and do their investigation to make sure that, it was a double charge and not you just buying it twice. Blithering Rando says, I appreciate no political talk. Just making money is big enough thing to tackle, and so many channels already veer into it. Yeah, and I really, really, really try to stay away from it. I get cringy when I, see it from both sides. But regardless of, who you're voting for, who you voted for, who's in office, who's not, whatever we're dealing with in the economy is what we're all dealing with. Okay. So we can complain, we can cry, we can say this, we can say that. But it doesn't matter. This is what do you have to work with? This is what we have to work with. This economy, right? It's reality. And I think denying that it exists or, making reasons or excuses as to why it's happening, it doesn't matter. It's here. And so Is this what we're going to see in Q4? That should be your focus on reselling. It's part of your business. The Tommy Bernard podcast says, because nothing matters, economy, weather, war, politics, nothing matters nearly as much as the items we list, period. Yeah. I mean, because right now people are making sales. Larry Todd just got 2 sales during this live. And it's really, I'm willing to bet a good percentage of the reason why he made those sales is not only because he hit the like button, but because he has good stuff to sell. Garden Resale Thrift says, I already pasted my eBay gross profit, hoping to get in the double digits before this year ends. There you go. Guy Guru says, I've never had a problem with no feedback buyers. Usually the ones with lots of feedback are the problem. Yes, they are the problem because they know what works. They've tried different games with other sellers. They've tried the partial refund game. They learn from us sellers. Us sellers teach these buyers how to interact with us. So if you get the buyer that is being a hard ass, for lack of a better word, and they're wanting a partial refund, there's nothing wrong, but they're trying to fish. Maybe they're going to complain about something to try to get that partial refund. And if you're that buyer or that seller who doesn't want to bother with it, and you give in to the partial refund request, well, you just, in their mind, confirm that this is a tactic that works, and they're going to do it over and over again. And all the while, their feedback is going to build up. Those 0 feedback buyers don't know all the tactics. Biscuit Butt says, I'm Roman's punching bag. Tommy says, you can't block buyers for feedback as an overall setting. You have to read and pay attention to the setting. It's only for those settings above that area. Some dogs are barking, so it might be there.
My dogs are barking.
Yeah. Biscuit Butt says, you guys are always going out of town to keep up with you guys.
It's only just this month.
This has been a very, very hectic month, which explains partially why my sales are down. Of course, when I'm gone, it's harder to list. Yeah, we get listings done, schedule the listings, but those are listings I can launch now. I'm making listings for 3 or 4 days from now. I could actually have more items up for sale, I guess. Let's see. Noah Designs with John and Jenna, I would double check your super chat details. Some super chats are not going out, just a heads up. What do you mean they're not going out? Curious about that. I've never heard on that. And where do I check? Because I don't really check, guys. Look, super chats are nice. I thank you guys for sending them. I'm not driven by the money. The money's nice. It's really cool. I can now give Jenna. We've made $15 in super chats, which means Jenna can have her coffee today. But I thank you for that. I'll check into it. But so much going on today. I listed 5 items, and because of the weekend coming up, I've still got another 5 to 7 today to list. And you guys have ever seen the way I list? It's not an easy process at all, because I'm dealing with items that are just so big and bulky and so many steps. Let's see. Tommy says, hey, Mike, your dad is lost again. You come to take Todd back to the nursing home. Wow.
Jeez.
Ed says, I want to get the grill with a built-in air fryer. Too expensive, though. Yeah, I like the air fryer, but it's just not the same. Look, it isn't the same. If you're going to say, if anybody's going to say that an air fryer is better than deep frying, other than the health part of it and the taste part of it, they're saying it's the same. They don't know anything about food. The deep fryer is the way to go.
John knows everything about
I know a lot about food. You guys, once you see me in person, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, that guy knows a lot about food.
Doesn't ever go without a meal.
I love food. It's worth living for. Biff Bothwell says, deep fried chicken wings or no chicken wings? Deep fried chicken wings all day long. Noah Designs says, Roman Archie needs the funds. The ranch ain't cheap. Guy Grew, that background removal tool does a better job most of the time than Photoshop for me. Yeah, I use Photo Room on the phone, and I do all my photos on the phone. So when I'm done with the set, maybe like 8 to 10 to 12 photos, I'll then go in and do the background removal, and then I'll send them over to my Dropbox, which then I can go into my computer when I'm ready, and they're ready for me to go. Or, of course, I don't even need to send them over on my Dropbox. I can just throw them in my listing on my app. Just depends on what mode I'm in. Let's see. The Crazy Card says, I wish Todd is rich. If he was my dad, I'd throw him in Shady Acres to buy myself a new truck.
Oh my God.
That's just wrong. Dan Cruz says, go with what works. I mean, the question is raise your ASP and go with what works. I think that's the key. You need to try different things. Don't be afraid. I think some of us are, going back to the conversation with Ed, we are stuck. We are stuck in, I am used to selling shoes. I've moved over to clothing. I moved over to purses. I moved over to similar things. But how many of you have moved over to things that look like they sell well and you can get a hold of, and it's been a total change to your business? Because that's what we did. It's just night and day different than what we were dealing with last year.
Do you see him? Do you see him? Look at
Yeah, I see him right there. Look at him. These guys get so bored. They want our attention so bad. Tommy says that he donated 2 tickets. Hopefully they get them to someone that can use them. That event's going to be sold out. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun time. I can't wait. Simple Beautiful says, so the 50% is deducted from the actual price of the item. If I charge shipping, they don't get that back at all, right? Also, what if they leave negative feedback? Thanks. Okay, so the 50% is from the item price. If you have the shipping built in, then of course, you're just going to take that 50% of whatever that was. But let's say it was $100 plus 25 shipping. That tab is automatically going to be off for the refund of that. So unless you have an INAD where you screwed up or whatever, you're refunding it because you made a mistake, then you're going to leave that toggled off. And then that $100 item, you're just going to say 50%, and it'll take off the $50. So it'll show that the buyer is getting a $50 refund. And it's pretty much the best remedy you're going to get. Now, if they leave a negative feedback, well, that's different. From what I understand and what I remember, if you give the buyer a full refund and they return the item, you give them a full refund, then they'll take off the negative, right? Some people were saying that's no longer a thing, but you're not giving them a full refund here. So what usually happens is the buyer will get an email from eBay saying that they didn't get all their money, and the buyer will dispute that. eBay will open up a case. eBay will take about an hour to decide. I guess it gets escalated somewhere. And then they'll come back saying to you that we decided in the buyer's favor. We refunded the buyer in full. With no impact to you, and it's just like, everything's fine. So the time that you've done that to the time eBay steps in, they're taken care of. They're probably not going to leave you negative, and that's just my experience. Bobble says, Roman, I know rumor has it I'm a vampire, but the rest of y'all ain't going to last that long. Let's see. Cole says, hey guys, great content. First time catching you live. Finally, I came in on YouTube to research an issue before contacting eBay. Maybe you might have the answer. Sure. If you have a question, shoot, let me know. We're probably going to be on here for another 20, 30 minutes, depending on. I'm catching up in chat, guys. I had been on top of things today, so
okay,
it wasn't
Cole
so long.
has another one.
Well, that's where I'm waiting for the actual question.
It's down now. Keep right there. Right
there. Let me remember where I was at. Okay. Cole says 11 packages were picked up today. 8 showed delivered at mailbox already, and the other 3 showed in transit. I checked post office box, but no packages there. Any idea? I've sent 700 items. Never had this happen. 8 show delivered at mailbox already, and the other 3 show in transit. So that's pretty weird. But in this case, you're fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything about it until give it a few days, because
yeah. Now, if you're receiving packages like your buyer, they'll receive an item and say, well, it says it was delivered, but I never got it. Sometimes you'll get packages like a day or 2 after the scan that they've been delivered. Don't ask me why. Maybe they're trying to fudge their delivery metrics or something. But unless it's like 2 or 3 days have passed, then I wouldn't really worry
there's
about it.
times where we'll get a notification saying something was delivered, but it wasn't delivered, and it comes the next day. So
yeah, Ed says, do you see Josie, that's crazy New York drivers latest video about negative feedback being 10 times harder to remove now? Mm-hmm. Well, it is. He has a direct line to concierge, and he can get someone on the phone like that, but all they do is fill out the negative feedback removal request form anyway that you have access to. And I don't know about you, but the idea of me telling my situation to someone and hoping they're going to type it in that box exactly the way I would, no, I'd rather do it myself. And it saves me the hassle of making a phone call. Generally, I like to point to, and this is where you will get the best results. Point to somewhere where the buyer's violated policy. So we're talking like maybe they left a false positive, meaning they said something, maybe they left a positive in a negative feedback. You could say, it looks like the buyer made a mistake, but they're not allowed to leave a false positive or a false negative. Could be that they violated policy. Maybe they mentioned to you in the negative or in the messages before the negative that they wanted a partial refund. They can't do that. They can't ask for something that's not part of the original sale. Could be a number of factors that you can point to say this is sort of in violation of what the buyer is supposed to do. This is not the spirit of the feedback that they're supposed to be leaving, and they'll take it off. But if it's something like didn't like the quality, that's the worst negative you can receive, because those are almost impossible to get removed. And they are going to come back and say the buyer's allowed to leave their opinion, and we're not going to remove it. Anytime Picker Roman says, Todd, for sure. I'm still learning from Todd how to find stuff that sells on eBay. It has been 10 years already. Let's see. Thomas says that the tier 1 reps are not allowed to remove feedback at all. They all get sent to a team now. And that's essentially what that form is. And a lot of the things that you ask the frontline reps to do, they're always passing it off to someone who's over that, right? Unfortunately, a lot of those people aren't in the U.S.
People who answer the phone, they're just there to answer the phone. Anything that requires any kind of in-depth investigating or filling out of a form, that all gets transferred to somebody else.
Yeah.
They're literally only answering the phone.
Yep. Dan Cruz says air fryers are awesome. They're better than they used to be. I remember when the first air fryer came out, I had to get it, try it, right? And it sucked. All it did was heat up my soggy chicken tender, right? So there's nothing like a crunchy chicken wing, chicken tender, French fry, and the air fryers just don't really do that so well. I mean, they're okay now, but
they're
better now. Not as good as when you go. If you want that restaurant style quality, you got to have the regular oil fryers.
You got to eat the grease.
Sylvia says, Jenna, do way you love dogs, or I don't know what that means. I love them too, and Friday was the worst day of my life to decide to put my oldest dog with 16 years to sleep.
Oh no, I'm so sorry,
yeah.
Sylvia.
I saw a video.
My dogs are my life.
I saw a video on Instagram that kind of choked me up, and it was one where the dog was, I guess, given a prognosis that it wasn't going to live long. And so they allowed it to go visit like its friends next door, and they went out and bought it a steak and let it eat the ice cream, and they let it lay out one last day before they took it in. And it's like, it made me really think of my other dog Peanut, which we actually did the same thing. I had to take him in because he was suffering, and I didn't want him to suffer anymore. And it's sad. It's sad, right? It's a member of your family. It's really sad. And on to brighter things. Roman says, Ed, some reps in Russia are allowed to arrest you if you ask to remove feedback. That's why they got rid of the Russian reps. Blithering Rondo says, I have a toaster oven air fryer. The toaster oven works so well, I haven't even used the air fryer option.
Blithering
Rando.
Not Rondo.
It could be Rondo.
No.
Rondo. Jovial. There's Jovial. Not only is it National John Day. That's right. It's my day.
But it's JOHN.
It is National Cooking Day as well.
So it's not John Day.
So John Day is actually cooking. So I have a bunch of chicken breasts in with some New Mexico green hatch chilies. And I have that just simmering away in the slow cooker since like 1 o'clock. And by the time we're ready, about 6 o'clock, we're going to have some really, really good, we want tacos, burritos.
Do we
it's
have
good.
Tortillas?
Oh, yes, we do. Let's see. Reverence is brats and hot dogs in the air fryer, though. If you like them charred from a grill, air fryer is the next best thing. Yeah, that's something to try, but it makes such a mess.
Yeah.
Ed says, agree, John, we need to go to an all-you-can-eat buffet and just fall asleep there after the food coma. Yeah, I used to be really bad in my 20s. I used to be so bad eating at those I'd make trips to Vegas and the gambling would be secondary. It's like, I can't wait for the buffets. And we get those passes, right? So breakfast, you're eating. Lunch, let's go. Dinner, more food. That's just so bad. It's just
I don't
gross.
eat that much food. So when he's like, he's all in.
Yeah.
I can't.
Lisa says, hit the like, please. I'd appreciate that.
The only buffet I like is the all-you-can-eat crab legs.
The Rio used to have that.
Well, they did, but now it's at South Point.
Okay, but the Rio used to really have the good one. The really good one. Guide Guru says, I used to find those Breville 900 XL fryers all the time. Was always an easy few hundred. I never see them anymore. I see them. I bought the Tefal, the one that just has the grease removal. And this is not the air fryer, but has a grease removal. And this thing, I think I'm trying to get like $80 for it. It was only like $6. So, I was like, wow, it's so cheap. I could just keep it, He
wants to have every gadget.
She won't let me keep it in the kitchen. She has to store all my stuff. My food saver, my my pressure cooker, my electric pressure cooker, and it's just such a pain. That's why I don't cook so much, because it's just a pain.
That's a lie. He cooks very often.
Not as much.
He just is lazy and doesn't want to pull it out of the. It's in the cabinet.
Yeah.
God forbid he has to pull it
I
out
want to deal with that.
and put it on the counter.
Just want to leave it on the counter.
No.
Tommy says, as long as there's an acceptance scan before they get scanned, then delivered, you're good. They will resume showing tracking at the next facility.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cole says, strange thing is my pickup verification shows your package is picked up today at 10. I go to customer orders and check tracking. It shows delivered at mailbox at 10:03.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, that kind of an inconsistency happens all the time.
Reverend says to Cole, my carrier does this about twice a year. They just have their handheld in the wrong setting. They scan the pickup. You should see the tracking updated to scan at DC by tomorrow. Yeah, it's common. Tommy says it happens all the time. And then Guy Guru says, I have heard some people getting feedback removed because they mentioned seller's gender, like he listed it wrong under the personal details radio. Wow.
What?
Wow. Wow. So you're saying that they would say, I don't identify with he, I'm a she, or I'm a they, or a thou? I don't know. Anytime Picker says, probably was shipped with old vintage Soviet stamps. Oh, wow. I'd love to see a Soviet stamp.
Blithering Rando. It was
okay.
exciting.
National John Day. Isn't that made up holiday by American standard?
Yes.
Or it could be the reason.
No way.
It could be the reason why Archie's going to the Bunny Ranch. It's National John Day. We just didn't know it.
I cannot believe you just
Well,
said that.
I'm just saying. That was mentioned in the live stream.
And John's name is spelled Jon.
That's
There's
right.
no H, and there's a reason why. It's because his name is really not John.
That's right. What's your point? John is referred to as a gentleman of the night.
I don't
right?
think anybody needs an explanation for what the
Or it could be referred to as a bathroom. I'm going to John. Could be a lot of different reasons.
Get out of here. Get out of
Blithering
here.
Rando says it's short for random, like I'm blithering random person. Random. Short for random. Random.
Rando.
Yeah.
I'm Rando. Like it's
like
a
random.
slang.
It's random.
It's Rando. It's so rando.
It depends on your accent. Devon says, John, you're like my husband. He needs a shed for his cooking gadgets.
Yes. That would be ideal.
Okay, let me ask you ladies out there that are watching.
Oh, I already know the answer.
What's the question?
I already know the answer.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Would you rather have a husband that doesn't cook and doesn't require certain gadgets, or would you rather have a husband that enjoys cooking, cooks very well, and just requires you to have a few extra gadgets on the counter so that he can access them when he decides to cook? You don't have to. Which one would you rather have?
Okay, so I grew up in a house where all the gadgets were on the counter.
So I have to
will not.
I've got to deal with your PTSD then.
I will not allow my gadgets to be consumed all over the countertop so that I can't use the counter.
What are you using the counter for?
We've
got an island.
Butter my toast.
We've got an island that you can do that with. Butter your toast on the island.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Anyway.
We can have this debate for hours.
But I want to know if you guys have a moment to type what you'd rather see. Now, let's assume your husband knows how to cook if he has these gadgets. Your husband's horrible at cooking. That's not what we're talking about. We're assuming he knows how to cook. Would you be okay with him cooking and having the gadgets, or just saying, we're going to have an off night tonight, or we're going to order out because I ain't going to mess with this anymore? Tommy says, Jenna, you should put all this stuff on top of the cabinets, kind of like how he does the heavy inventory.
Right?
Look.
At least I put them down, in the cabinets below.
There's no other place to put those large boxes than on the top shelf, because the clearance of the other shelves won't allow the box to fit. That's why we do it that way. If you're dealing with shoes, you don't have that kind of problem.
True.
Karen, Raining Retro, says, love watching, but never hit the live. So so thrilled to be able to join the chat. Well, thank you for being here.
Welcome, Karen. Thank
you. Awesome. Thanks for being here. Geiger says, she didn't pack it well enough. Here's Karen with a question. A while ago, you said you thought auctions were helping your sales. Things always changing. So do you still think so? I think auctions are dead. There's going to be a lot of times you're going to see me say, well, like last year, my sales were crap all year. But I thought, well, let me add some auctions into here, because I was having success with my military patches and stuff, almost exclusively on auctions. And so I put a couple items up and I had great sales that week. And so I tried it again, decent sales. Tried it again, crap. So it kind of led me to the conclusion, well, I talked about it on YouTube, but maybe it's just a coincidence. And a lot of times, as people who have channels, we come out here and say, look, guys, I did this the last month and it's worked great. And then as soon as you put the video out, it doesn't work as well. I don't know why. That's why the one thing I talk about more than anything else has 8 months of solid data to back it up. And that's the change that I've made. Now, it has nothing to do with auctions. We don't use auctions because I just don't think, for the most part, that they work. Some they do work. If you know how to manipulate auctions and play the auction game, you have items that are somewhat desirable, I can see them working. But for what I use them for, what type of item I sell, it doesn't work. So you're going to see a lot of YouTubers like myself just try to give you ideas. And this game is about trying something. If you're kind of on the fence about auctions, give it a try. See if it helps your sales. I mean, it's only 1 or 2 items. Put them up, give it a 5-day, maybe a 7-day, and see what it does. Maybe it'll work. Guy Guru says, start a new channel. Cooking ain't easy. Believe me, I've talked about it. But there's not enough time in a day. If I had 36 hours in a day, I probably would do something like that. Sarah says, I have a shelf for all my stuff, cooking gadgets. It's made to hold things like that, nicely out of the way. They need to be out of the way.
I agree, Sarah. That's why they're in the large cabinets underneath the island. We
have a pretty good-sized kitchen. We have a lot of, we could probably get a little thing like that, but I don't want to turn it into just a cluttered kitchen, that type of thing.
Right. That's why everything is in the cabinets.
Jovial says, the kitchen is all yours with the exception of baking some cakes and cookies once in a while. Dan says, the counter debate. No one designs this one from reselling, then to cooking, to Adam and Eve. What the heck?
You get it all here.
Brandy says, clean counters, no gadgets. So no hubby cooking for you? Because that's no gadgets on the counter, no hubby cooking for you.
You can easily take the gadget out of the cabinet.
Karen says, I'd rather have a husband who can fix things and wants tools. I can cook myself, but can't fix things. I'd rather have someone who can do things I can't do. Well,
we're not going to go into that.
When it comes to cooking, I can do things that she can't do. And that is the amen truth on that one.
I can cook, but he doesn't like my cooking.
She can cook. Anyone here can cook, can throw something on the stove and call it cooking. Okay. There's a reason why I have a hard time going out to eat, because when I go out to eat, it don't taste anything as good as what I can make here. Just saying. Bobble says, don't care if he cooks as long as he cleans up.
Oh, God. Don't even get me started. He is the messiest cook in the world.
But the best.
The messiest.
Dan says, no one mentioned the toilet seat, please. We're not going to go there. That's just wrong. I sell toilet seats, but we're not going to talk about it. PTS Treasure says, my husband cooks all the meals. I'm in this house, but he has a kitchen gadget addiction. They're all in cabinets because I can't have them on counters.
Thank you, Patty.
Well, it isn't like I'm rebelling and taking them out. They're in the they're in underneath where you put them.
He asked me today, where's the slow cooker?
I didn't even know we still had one.
And he goes, we don't even have that anymore. And I said, oh, yes, we do. It's in the same cabinet that all the other things are in.
I thought she chucked it.
Why did I chuck it?
I don't know. Because you don't use it? Belinda says, just got in here. Did anyone see Josh Galt today? He wasn't on. Saw something strange on YouTube wanting to display his email, phone number, and address. Very weird. So
no Josh today.
No, he had a little track meet for his daughter that he was going to go to, but YouTube wanting to display his email, phone number, and address. I don't know.
That's bizarre.
Take a screenshot.
Send a screenshot to Josh.
That's concerning, huh?
Yeah.
Blithering says, sorry, John, I cook, but I'm generally a minimalist in the kitchen, though. If my house was bigger, I'd be fine with more gadgets. There you go.
If we had, we have a large kitchen, but if we had a bigger kitchen, I wouldn't, hesitate to have more gadgets. But
Tommy wants to know if you had a life alert. Does Jenna have one of those help? I've fallen and I can't get up necklaces just in case?
I need one.
Life alert.
I need one.
Oh, gee. Karen says, in the kitchen, I've minimized. Less clutter is better. No reason to have 4 things to do 4 things when a knife can do it all. Sylvia would rather have a husband cook for her. So, and then Liz says, my husband's name is John, spelled the same as yours. My husband does all the cooking. He's a great cook, and the kitchen is really his. He do and have anything he wants in the kitchen. See, because
he can do and have anything in the kitchen. However, the gadgets have to be put away after he's finished.
See? And then Masters Maniac Mexico, thank you so much. Listening helped me get my listings done. And on top, I had my first on-show ka-ching.
Yes!
Devon says, my husband makes a mess cooking.
Yes, Devon. Oh, my
awesome.
God.
And then
it's insane.
Shalami Sandwich says, I hear John talking about all I hear is cooking. Lisa says, my husband, electrician, buys the gadgets and expects me to use them. Mm-hmm. The part I need to understand who cleans up. Gadgets are dust collectors.
Yes.
Karen says, I figured auctions can't hurt if something's I'm really ready to donate anyway. Last week, listed 5 for $1 each. One got bid up to $4.25. But if the thought is it's going to help my other listings, give it a shot. Put a couple up and see if you've noticed any difference. Guy Guru says, marriage ain't easy, and ain't that the truth? Devon says, my husband just bought the Blackstone grill for outside.
We have one of those too.
And my son-in-law had his since his birthday in July, and I talked him into
he had it since Christmas.
Was it since Christmas?
Yes.
Well, it's even worse. It was in the garage, and I convinced him to put it together. We had to season the thing and put it together, and we cooked on it. So hopefully he keeps up with it.
The steak turned out really good.
No one design says, I doubt John is a good cook unless he can make a Napoleon.
John is a very good cook.
Yeah.
And no, he doesn't make Napoleon.
I don't know. What is a Napoleon anyway? Who needs a Napoleon? How many people do you see talking about that? I don't know. A bad leader from many years ago. Simple Beautiful says, John, you're right. I have a hard time eating out too. You're a great husband. Most guys don't cook.
True.
I enjoy it because I like good food.
I'm very grateful that he does cook and he cooks well. Don't get me wrong.
The crazy cards, it sounds like John leaves all of his gadgets out for spite. No, what I do is this is what happens. I cook the meal, right? So everyone serves themselves up. I say, okay, honey, you mind once you're done putting everything away? Okay. I take a couple hours to do the meal. She takes 30, 45 minutes to put stuff. Even that, that's probably not even that long. And that's kind of a good trade-off, right? Because I got things to do. And that's kind of the way I look at it.
He comes in there like a Tasmanian devil with things that he is spilling
I don't
everywhere.
have time I don't have time to be Emerald Lagasse and just take my time and,
I was taught to clean as you cook. So you clean as you go.
Another good answer here. My husband does all the cooking. He can have all the gadgets he wants so long as he puts everything away.
But you don't put anything away.
But you help me out. That's the part of our little deal. Karen says, question, thinking about trying what you suggest and setting up a second store with long tail and low priced items, but is there a low cost, easy way to move items from one store to another?
We were just talking about this morning.
So Jenna got on me for being a little cheapskate. I have literally like 50 items that I want to move from one store to the other. I'm in the process of doing that, and like 30 items from her store to mine. Do I want to spend $40 on an Ink Frog monthly fee to do that? I don't know, because I don't want to mess with all they like to change your business policies to weird business policies. So I'm just kind of doing them on my own. But if you're looking for a tool, Ink Frog is probably the best one. They don't sponsor this channel. We've used them many times. It's a standalone lister. You can go on there and list and launch from there. You don't even have to go into eBay, but it allows you to accumulate all your listings into one library, and then you can end them and then just change the name of the store you're sending them to and launch them with the same everything. You don't have to recreate the listing in the new account. If that makes sense.
Your time is worth $40.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's something I could do while I watch football, right?
But you could be doing something else instead of that.
Yeah, could be just watching football.
No, you could be doing your liquidation, or you could be listing.
Or watching football. So what's that happen tonight? I'm watching football.
Right.
John says,
be working at the same time.
Cooking ain't easy. It ain't easy. Trust me, it's sometimes a challenge. Jovial says, was taught to clean as you go as well. Now, I don't know any other way. Makes it much easier all the way around.
Yes.
Look, here's another example of where she's making me look like this freak that just tears up the kitchen. I am constantly throwing stuff away. Open the can, empty it, throw it away. I am doing that. Trust me. I'll be doing that tonight when you're enjoying your meal.
That is so not true.
Let's see.
Just admit that you're messy cook.
I'm a somewhat messy cook.
There's grease and oil flying everywhere.
Okay, well, it happens. Tina says, Ink Frog stores all your photos too. Yes. Mm-hmm. So some people like to have Ink Frog set up so that they have a place to go in case something happens, like eBay gets rid of your listings, that kind of thing, and your photos.
They want me to film you while you cook.
Film him cooking. We need to share the aggravation.
I need some people on my side because I will show you. Got enough.
You've painted this picture where if I'm being accused of it, I guess I'd better do it, right? So I'm going to leave you with the mess that you have described. Karen says, I would just want the catalog only till I've got the listings moved to the new store. I know LP can do it, list perfectly. Another way to have two eBay stores connected to the cross lister. I'm not really familiar with List Perfectly. We continue to use Prime Lister for just the cross posting, but as far I know that
we are not affiliated with them.
Well, we are. We still technically are, but we're not under contract, the 1 year contract anymore. But that's why you don't see a link down below or anything like that. But we still use them for our cross posting. Any way to have two eBay stores connected to the cross lister? I know that with Prime Lister, you're just in the store and it'll have the little tool that it looks like an arrow, and it'll do it automatically regardless of the account that you're in. Thomas says, what would he do without you, Jenna? He needs you to ship, help run the business, clean up after him. Please let us know if he starts asking you to wipe half his hiney. Draw a line.
Oh, I draw the line at that.
Wow.
I draw the line.
Wow. Okay, we're not even going to talk about anything like that. Jovial says, hey, filming John while cooking can be his first cooking YouTube channel video. Could lead to great things.
I don't know.
Yeah. We're not doing that.
It could go down a hole real fast.
Yeah, that's just too much. But I think we've gone from the idea of talking about reselling to cooking. And I think there's a lot of people that are like, okay, whatever. When are you going to talk about reselling? But I think we're at the point in the video where we're going to go ahead and just say it was a great live. Thank you guys for being here. It's just one of those things where we're dealing with a questionable economy. I don't want to say bad yet because, some of us are still making sales, but it's getting kind of sketchy. And instead of blaming it on eBay, because I think a lot of us have been just the first thing we think of is eBay. There are some elements to this that it's pointing to eBay, but there's another element, that elephant in the room, where it's partially the economy, and I think it's starting to show itself. Is it going to be like this for Q4? Who knows? But we can't control that. All we can control is what's in front of us. That's our items to sell, our listings we have to manage, and how we handle it, whether it's one store, two stores. But these are all things that confirm that flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have a great start to your week. Remember, Thursday, 3 p.m., not Friday. We're having it 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And I hope to see each and every one of you there. And until then, have a great rest of your week.
Bye, guys.
Take care, everyone.